So, you found a great title for the German translation of your book? Congratulations! What a milestone!
But, as true Germans, we are here to put you up for a challenge when it comes to that. And this particular challenge has got a great name. It's called Titelschutz, which means protection of the title.
Hi, we are Andrea and Freya, and we are on our way to become international best-selling authors.
And we're here to take you along for the ride.
So again, this is something about the law, the German law. And
Yay!
Here's my expert, Freya. Tell us about the Titelschutz. So that's your German word for today, right? Titelschutz.
Titelschutz. And it doesn't have any R's or Ch's or weird stuff in it.
It has a sh and it has a so.
Yeah, but I think it's one of the nicer German words to learn, I guess. Yeah, so
I'd love to hear somebody say Titelschutz. So maybe you can record a story on Instagram or something and just say the word Titelschutz.
And tag us in those stories so we can see.
Yes, and here.
So, Titelschutz. Okay, this is your German word that you learned for the day. And as we have mentioned before, we Germans, we love to create new words by combining them. And this word is another example of that. So you have Titelschutz, which consists of two German words. Titel, which means title, pretty easy to remember, I guess. And Schutz, which means protection. And this is basically the gist of it. The German word Titelschutz means or describes the laws in Germany that we have in place that are specifically designed to protect the title of something. For instance, and most importantly, books. So the concept of the German Titelschutz applies to basically all printed works or works of writing, basically. So most importantly, books and their titles, but they also apply to magazines or newspapers, which is probably not as important, but it's something that is specifically designed to protect your book and the specific part of your book, which is the title of your book. And so it is something, if you consider publishing in the German market, that you actually really need to know about, and something that you need to be aware of, that the title of your book is this separate entity, basically, that is under certain protection.
So this is to prevent confusion, right? So when you have a book called 1984...
like you do, by actually.
Like I do. We come to that later because I wouldn't have been able to use that title because it has been taken by George Orwell decades ago, almost a century.
Not really well-known book, like something you might have heard of.
George Orwell's
1984, like one of the most important words.
Yeah, maybe you heard of it in school.
I read it in school.
Me too.
In English.
Yes, me too. Yes, me too. Oh no, I read Keep the Aspidus from Flying and I hated it. I didn't like it.
Oh no, we read George Orwell and then we read Brave New World as well.
I didn't read that either.
It really made me pessimistic.
Yeah, 1984 was much more happy and stuff now. Yeah, that's Germany, by the way. That's book reread. That's how our mindset is built. Okay, but yeah, so there's no confusion, and when you have two books that have the same title, and you only know the title of a book, and you want that somebody recommended it to you, you might buy the wrong book. So that's actually not the worst law, I guess.
Yeah, and to make so then you wonder. So basically, the Titelschutz means that other people cannot use the title of your book, for instance, for their books, and
the exact title. Maybe we should. And that's for 1984. I was able to use the title because I had. It's not the entire title of my book. The entire title is Einer dieser Sommer, One of These Summers. Oh, that's actually nice in English.
It sounds really nice.
Oh, it sounds amazing. So it's One of These Summers, 1984, because it's a series, and every series has another date, another year in the title. So I was able to use 1984 in the title. So it's not because it's not about not using a certain part, but it's about using the exact same title.
Yeah, I had a similar question when I published my first thriller. It's called Blutschuld, which means guilt of blood, I guess, in English.
Guild
Okay.
of Blood.
Maybe not the best title in English. But
No.
so there are actually a few books out there that have a similar title or are also called Blutschuld, and I worked around that by adding a subtitle.
Yeah.
So this is something that you can do as well. So it's really the Titelschutz applies to the exact title, like word for word, and the spelling as well. So this is something you
Yeah,
need to
but
consider.
even though it's but it's not possible to just add an article, for
Yeah,
instance.
that's true.
So if it's the title is Night and you would title your book The Night, that's it could lead to a trial at the court.
So, but what your title must be to be eligible for Titelschutz is, and this is kind of like where it's getting interesting because the titles of books are usually like very short words, you know, like for instance, 1984, one of these summers. Those are like there's not like a lot of intellectual property that goes into that title, and still they need to be eligible for Titelschutz. And what they need to be is they need to be sufficiently. What? I can't read that.
Sufficiently.
But this is not what's right. They need to be distinctive. Let's just so you really need to be able to make out that title and distinct it from other titles like 1984, one of these summers. You know, this is something the combination, the number, the everything,
The
you
genre
know.
as well.
Exactly. So you need to it needs to have this singularity to it, basically. And then the title is eligible for Titelschutz. And then you are then you have a certain right that you can make claims of if people are publishing books with the same name to make them stop publishing those books with the same name.
So could it be that when you write a dystopian book that is called In the Year 1984, that this you probably couldn't use it, right?
I don't think so. I think this is where it also becomes where it really it's getting into a gray area on where you have like case by case law, which you usually don't have in Germany. In Germany, we have codified law, so everything is basically in law, not like, for instance, in the United States or in Great Britain where you have case law. But with these certain types of cases, you also have case law where it's basically decided each and every time by a court whether this title is basically the same title but just with a different spin on it, or if this is really a different distinctive title that has actually its very own individual title protection.
Okay, how do you make sure that the title you're going to use is not already taken or has not already been taken? You have to do some research. there are two places to do that, and I think it's a little tricky because the thing is you can protect a title in different ways. The first one is you publish a book. When you publish a book with a certain title, then it's just protected, unless it has been taken already, of course. And then you can register a title for 6 months. And the problem here is there's actually no database where you can check it, right?
I don't think so.
So
So it's like good luck.
good luck that the title hasn't been registered within the past 6 months. And then there's the thing you can whenever you publish a cover of a book you are going to publish within the next 6 months, or you just mention the title in an official place, and you make sure that you are writing on this book or that you are working on this book and this is going to be your book and this is going to be published within the next 6 months, then the title is protected as well. So basically, when somebody just puts up on his blog or Instagram or stuff words about his book and names the title there, it is protected. So this is where I'm confused actually, because a lot of people can do that at the same time, and And who's first?
Yeah, so that's the kind of the thing. There's no like title police in Germany, that checks every book that is ever published, whether this title has been used before or something like
Title
that.
police.
So this is something that applies to when there's another author who's claiming, hey, you are using a title that I have already used, and then you need to prove, for instance, whether this other author has used that title before you and in which way they did. So this is something that is kind of tricky, but it's also not very it's not very common that you have problems in that area. You know what I mean? So it's basically I think what we would recommend is that you check beforehand on Amazon.de, for instance, whether a title is in use.
There are actually two platforms you should check. You should check in any way, and that is Amazon.de and Buchhandel.de.
Exactly.
Another German word. Because on Buchhandel.de you have all the books that are registered in the Verzeichnis lieferbarer Bücher. Remember these words?
By the way, we put the link into the show notes. So because Buchhandel.de, you might not know how to spell that. It's in the show notes. So you just click on it.
There's the and a double H. And on Amazon, but on Amazon you have the you have all the books that are not in the Verzeichnis lieferbarer Bücher,
like ebooks, like we talked about last time.
But even there, not every book, because there are authors who publish their books on their homepage only.
Exactly, and they are still eligible for Titelschutz.
Yes.
So so it's Amazon.de and Buchhandel.de, and then you have covered a very, very wide range, I guess. So
and this should be enough.
That should give you enough security, I guess, and you should not fear or not find any trouble with other authors who claim that you have been using their titles.
So to add here, it's not required by law that you register your title before you publish. It is not. You should just check if anybody else has done so. So we have to correct ourselves because we are not perfect. Well, we are, but not in this case because we said something wrongly. We just checked and we put that URL underneath into the show notes. Into the show notes without the underneath for you because that's another nice word. It's just Börsenblatt. .net. And it has nothing to do with stocks. Yes.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with with the stock market.
No, it doesn't. It's weird.
And that's the place for you to either register your title or what did we just find out, Freya?
So there's an archive. If you scroll down on their homepage, you can find that there is that there are certain news for registered titles there, and they have an archive actually, and there you can just type in your what?
I just read one of the registered titles, which is Huch, eine Überraschung. Nee. Huch, a surprise.
Yeah. I guess it makes sense to register that one. I guess so. But okay. So you have an archive there and you have a
fresh bread.
Okay. Where you can just type in the title that you want to use, and then you can see whether the title has been registered with them, and then this also gives you an idea whether this title is planned to be in use or not. So this should also add to some security on your part when you use a title.
So the title is protected as long as the book is there. So you cannot use it after like 5 years or something, which ChatGPT actually said.
Don't always trust the bot.
Don't always trust the KI.
AI.
AI, right?
KI, it's in German.
That's because I said KI. my mind knew this is wrong, but the AI never trusted completely. So this means as long as a book is out there, you cannot use the title. But if the book hasn't been deliverable for a long time, you can, which is, I just realized, which today is probably very rare because ebooks will be deliverable. That's the
Indefinitely,
word.
yeah.
Definitely, probably. But if you see a book that's only out as a print book, only published as a print book, and which hasn't been deliverable for like 2 years or something, you can, first of all, you should ask the author probably if you can use the title. And if he doesn't, if he or she doesn't reply, you could probably use the title. But this, disclaimer, it's not a legal advisory service here. Even though Freya has to say something about the law now. Again.
This might be a good time to mention that I'm actually not, into IP law at all, but okay. So
IP
the thing
law?
is intellectual property.
You should probably say the whole words because IP law sounds like something computer
No, actually,
related.
I think this is something really common in the English speaking words to refer to someone's IP.
Yes, the IP of the internet connection. That's IP for me.
So the thing
Internet
is, so
protocol. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just like that.
Yeah.
In the law world, maybe.
Okay.
Who
So
hates me.
intellectual property. It's really not my thing, but I know the basics kind of. And the thing is, so what does Titelschutz actually do? It protects it gives an author a right, when to keep others from using that title. And if other authors use that title without permission, like Andrea just said, you are actually entitled to damages. So you can go to the court and file a lawsuit and seek damages from the person who is unlawfully using a title of a book. And this is something that you want to avoid, obviously. But it's something that gives you protection as well. If you have, for instance, pre-registered a title of a book, you can keep others from using that title. And but this also, and this is why I really wanted to get into this, it really only applies to the title, and the title doesn't enjoy copyright. So you can seek damages because of your position in the market is basically endangered or your brand is damaged, but you can't pursue copyright damages. The copyright damages are really only applying to the content of your book. Like, for instance, if someone is out there and publishes a book with the same plot that you use or the same characters, this is something which gives you a wider protection. So the Titelschutz is not as maybe strong, for instance, as copyright, but still it gives you an opportunity to keep people from, advertising their books with your title and to put damage on your brand as an author or or endanger your position in the market. So this is something you need to maybe know if you kind of, I don't know, like me, like these little legal distinctive things.
But what's the effect of
The
the
effect
laws
is
being
that the Titelschutz is not it's not as easy to seek damages, basically, because in order so other people are not allowed to use your title, but this makes you that it makes you able to seek damages. But it's not as easy to prove that there has damage been done just by the usage of a title than the damage that has been done by the usage of your true copyright. So it's easier to claim copyright violations than Titelschutz violations, and because the damages are easier to be defined, actually. This is just something to know, but still, you are, for instance, if someone uses your title, you can make them stop for the future. You can make them stop right away. This is something really important and something that you should consider. If you see someone who uses your title unlawfully, you can make them stop right away.
You can make them stop, and can you seek damage substitution?
Yeah, you can seek damages, but like I said, it's not easier. It's not very easy to prove, like, the amount of damages that has been done. The amount of money that you have lost because someone else used your title. This is easier done when someone basically uses the content of your book.
Okay. Thank you. Very interesting.
It's actually weird to speak about legal matters in English because I'm missing a lot of words, I realize. But yeah.
You've done well.
Thank you.
At least for me, as a German, whose English is worse than yours.
Ah,
So, I think we got to the end, didn't we?
yes. So you know about, you have learned a new German word. You know which it entails, and you have also gained a little more insight in the German legal world, which is we love laws and we love to apply them and we love to protect everything.
Well, you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've not just reached the end of this episode, but we reached the end of the season.
I know. I know. I
Of
can't
our
believe
very
it.
first season.
So
So that was
I'm getting
great.
sentimental.
Yes, me too.
I had a lot of fun, and the thing is, I learned a lot too because you know we did
Yes,
some
me
proper
too.
research.
Yes.
So it was really great talking to you guys, and I'm so glad, and I'm sure Andreas as well.
A few days ago, I asked Freya a question. I was doing
Yeah.
a proposal.
She wasn't proposing to me, just to clear that. I'm taken. I'm already married.
Yeah, her reaction was really nice. Okay. I was doing a book
Yes. Oh, I
proposal
like that.
because, as she said, we have done a ton of research on this topic of the German market, and we just thought that maybe, or I thought, and she thinks too, that it would be nice to publish a book on the German market for
International authors
people,
entering.
for international authors entering. Yes, that's the title. International authors entering the German market. Something like that. And our question here is, would you be interested in a book like that? Please tell
Yeah,
us.
especially if you have listened to the
Please
season
tell us.
and if you've I don't know if there are some open questions that you want to have answered, or if you want to dig deeper into a certain topic, please tell us because
If you want a vocabulary book,
oh yeah, the audiobook version of that book would be really funny, I guess. Lots of bloopers in there.
I guess that.
So,
Yes.
let us know what your thoughts are on that,
So-
or if you're like, please no, you have done more than enough.
No, that's enough. No, I just decided not to enter the German market. It's just
No,
way too
please do,
difficult.
because Germans love to read, and we love to read foreign books.
Yes, we do. So, and this was our part on taking you into our world and to give something to the market we are going to
Yeah.
enter. And that's actually the title, or not the title, but the topic of our second season. Because people,
No.
we are not done
No,
here.
actually,
That's not.
we're just starting.
Not enough.
And so the next
just
season
started.
is all about us becoming international,
All about us.
entering a new book
Yes.
market. So,
And I have a feeling that the first episode we're going to record on this will be at
oh,
the
this is
London
gonna be
Book
so
Fair.
awesome. Okay.
Meet us there. We have some questions for you. Actually, we just decided that it would be nice to find you and let you say the words you just learned.
No?
Not to laugh,
No.
not to laugh at you, but to laugh together, because these words
Just
are
to
so
celebrate
ridiculous.
language, which is something that
Yes.
connects us all, and it's a
Yes.
great thing.
And to prepare
Yeah.
you for the German market, because when you stumble upon those words, you'll know them. You
Mm-hmm.
will know them. And we will provide a card with all the words you just learned, so you can read them, actually, because
Not that
you
that
know,
helps.
pronouncing and reading, that's different. Oh my God. I'm so glad that I
Yeah,
don't have
me
to learn
too. I could
German.
never learn that. Oh gosh.
Me neither. So everybody out there who's learning German, you're my hero.
And
Oh, my
for
heroine.
everyone English speaking
My
out there,
heroine.
your language
That's
is
so
just
weird.
beautiful, and I love it so very much.
Yes, me too. Me too. Amazing language.
So
Yes. And we promise we'll learn it.
So guys, we see you next season. And so
yes. Or maybe we even see you next season. Maybe I can get Freya to do video.
if you would see me now and you wouldn't want to see me. I've gotten up really early.
She's catching compliments.
No, fishing for compliments, by the way.
Yeah, she's catching. No, she's not catching. She's fishing.
Okay.
Fishing for compliments. Why didn't I know that that word.
And I'm not, by the way.
Expression.
I'm shy.
She is.
Sometimes. Guys, see you. This is getting ridiculous. So we need to wrap this up, and
we just can't say.
Yeah, I know. Goodbye. Saying goodbye to you guys is really hard.
Oh, but if you want to see us on video, just tell us. And next week, which is probably not next week when you listen to this, but next week I'm really excited. We're going to record an interview with Nick Thacker, which is actually for my German YouTube channel. But I think we're going to ask him whether we can publish this on our English YouTube channel as well.
It's exciting. We got lots of stuff to talk about. For instance, he got the title of a book. That's gotten me really interested because it's close to something that I use in my books. But more on that next season. See you there, guys.
See you there.
Hear you
there.
Bye-bye.
Bye.